Okay, so today we are going to study a poem. So let's focus on that poem. First poem of your lesson. You see, the first poem of your lesson, Flamingo. So Prakhar, can you hear me? Please text me once. Prakhar, can you hear me? Can you please text me once? So I need to have a text. Can you please give your text next time? I've got to do something like obvious. I will teach. Now here it's not installed, so I cannot share that text with them at the moment. So see here, this is, you can open your textbook, that is Flamingo, first poem, and let us study something about this poem. It's a very small poem. Let us revise once again, okay? So in this poem, My Mother at 66, what the writer Kamala Das wanted to convey here Kamala Das wants to convey that aging is a natural process. Okay? Aging is a very natural process for each one of us. So we should not become depressed when we age. Okay? And we cannot stop it because it's something which is natural. So, and we should not also have personal attachment. Like our attachment should not be too overpowering in nature. Okay, so that it disrupts our emotional balance. Okay, we must have a healthy emotional mindset. Okay, or healthy emotional health. So if we become too much obsessed with our attachment with our family members, with our parents, or with our brother, sister, anybody, it tends to affect our emotional health also. Okay, so we should be emotional, but not too obsessed in our relationship with others, because obsession brings about depression. Okay, oppression brings about emotional and mental instability. Therefore, we should be emotional but not over possessive about any relationship in our everyday life. Okay, so that is what is the subject matter or the message that the writer Kamala Das wanted to convey in this lesson. Okay, you see how possessive she has become about her mother. She has become very possessive. Okay, therefore she is feeling so pained at heart when there is a separation. She cannot bear the separation from her mother. Okay, she thinks that her mom will die very shortly. Okay, so this particular future thought that her mom will die very shortly is something what is crippling her emotional health. Okay, something which is taking a toll on her emotional health. Therefore, we must take care of this particular fact that we should be emotional but not uh, over possessive. So let us go through so that we understand. In the literal way, we cannot understand anything. Like for example, you see here, driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. Okay, ashen means what? Is pale. You can say. Okay, pale like that of a corpse. It is a figure of speech. Can you tell which figure of speech is this? Which figure of speech is this? Mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. Okay, so it is simile, right? Uh, Corpse means the dead body of a person is called corpse. Dead body of a person is called corpse. So now see the competency-based question. In the extract questions, you need to know, as I told you before, each and every, meaning of each and every word. Because sometimes they will give you the meaning of word corpse and they will ask you whether what are the out of the following options, which is the synonym of the word corpse. So in that case, if you do not know the meaning of the word corpse, it will be difficult for you to understand or guess the answer from the four options, right? That is why whenever you prepare the extract, make sure that you know the meaning of each and every word, okay? As well as make sure that you understand the figure of speech that is there. Sometimes figure of speeches are also there, okay? Even in prose also it is there, like personification, okay? Then metaphor, simile, uh, alliteration. So in this sentence it is simile because here the pale face of her mother has been compared to a corpse. Understood? As the dead body of a person becomes very pale and dull, similarly, her mother's face also appears to be as dull and as pale as that of a corpse. That is why it is an example of simile because they are comparison, okay, with the help of like or as. When there is a comparison with the help of like or as, it is called simile, right? And when there is a direct comparison, it is called metaphor. Okay, for example, Sachin is the Bradman of India. So Sachin is compared directly with Bradman. Okay, so it is metaphor. Or sheep is the desert. Camel is the desert of the sheep. So when we say camel is the desert of the sheep, it means camel has been directly compared with the sheep. Okay, here, desert of the sheep, sheep of the desert, sorry. Camel is the sheep of the desert. So it is metaphor, direct comparison. Okay? Camel has been directly compared with a sheep. But if I say camel is like a sheep of the desert or in the desert, then it is simile. Okay? In both the figures of speech, there is a comparison, but there is structurally they are different. Simile is that comparison which has like or as with it, attached with it, and metaphor is direct comparison. There is no as or like attached to it. Next, you see. So, what is the setting of the thing? Setting. What is the setting? Setting is Kamala Das is driving actually. Okay. The or might be she's inside the vehicle. Okay, and they are going from their parental house home to Cochin airport. Okay, on the way to the airport, she could observe her mom because she's going to part with her mom in the airport. Her mom is going somewhere else. She has come to see her off in the airport. So that is the setting actually. So on the way to coming to the airport, she could observe her mom being so cheerless, being so pale. So the paleness and the cheerlessness in her face made her compare her mom with a corpse. Okay, so that is when she has made use of the word figure of speech simile here, right? Next, you see, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. Okay, she was as old as she looked because she has become very old, so her age is being reflected on her face. There are some people whose age is not reflected on their face, right? But there are some people whose age is totally reflected on their face. Okay, like what are the characteristics of a person becoming old? Tell me, what are the physical signs on their faces or in their body?
Lines on their faces.
Sorry,
Lines on their faces.
uh, lines you said. So sorry, wrinkles. Yes, very good. One of the symptoms, physical symptoms or physical signs is wrinkle. What is another one? What is another physical sign? Ripening of hair, right? Yes, becoming gray. We don't say white, we say gray. Okay, hair turning gray. Okay, then the skin becomes folded. Okay, there are some other signs. Okay, um, voice quality also, okay, cracks, and it becomes very thin like that of a child. Okay, so these are some of the symptoms of becoming old age, right? Their postures become stooping like this. Okay, their backbone doesn't work properly, so their posture becomes stooping. They have a stooping posture. So these are some of the physical signs of an aged person. Okay, so she became very very unhappy, and she said she became sad, but she somehow managed to put that thought away. Somehow she managed to put that thought away that her mom has become too old. Okay, and looked out at young trees sprinting. Now see, there is another comparison. Okay, but that comparison is implicit comparison. What is implicit comparison? The comparison which cannot be understood. Okay, uh, you need to observe carefully to be able to understand, or read between the lines to be able to understand. So here you see, she said she somehow managed to put aside the thought that her mom has become old, and then look out at young trees sprinting. Okay, so now there will be a direct comparison. That is a metaphor you can say. And there is another figure of speech here when the writer says young trees sprinting. So what is that another figure of speech? Can you imagine? Imagine? Not exactly personification. Okay, it can be personification also because the word sprint is there, right? Sprint is there. So yes, trees, young trees sprinting. Okay, like young trees are have come alive as if they are moving. Because see, when you are going in a vehicle, you can see if you have a look outside from inside the vehicle, you will see that trees are moving. Okay, trees are moving. So this particular imagery, this particular picture is something that she is describing to us in that point. Okay, because she is able to see outside her vehicle, the trees are moving, but actually it's vehicle which is moving, not the trees, right? But from inside the vehicle, it appears trees are moving. So now she will make a comparison here. She is making a comparison of her mom inside the vehicle and the trees outside in the lap of nature. Okay, so she what she means to say with this comparison. Let's see. And look out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the okay, out of their homes, still out of their homes. Okay, so it means she has made comparative study here with the children here. Children, like the children who are coming out of their houses to play outside, they appear to be so cheerful, they appear to be so jubilant, they appear to be so full of life and invigorating or refreshing in comparison to the dullness, paleness of her mom inside the vehicle. So that is also a comparison here. Okay? Here the poet compares the cheerlessness and the paleness of our mom inside the vehicle with the lively children who have come out of their houses, okay, with an intention to play. So see, look, they are in their outside is so lively, but inside the vehicle is so dull. So she's making a contrast here between two scenes. One is inside the vehicle, and another is outside the vehicle. So in order to show the contrast in the circumstances in these two scenes, the poet has made comparison of her mom inside the vehicle being so dull, so cheerless, and so pale, with children being so lifelike, so excited, so invigorating, so refreshing. Okay, so in order to make a contrast, okay, of our mom with the children, the poet has made this comparison in order to show the contrast in the situation inside the vehicle as well as outside the vehicle. The poet has made this comparison. Okay, so this is a metaphor, of course, and young trees printing, as you said, it is personification as well as you can say it is imagery. Okay, suppose there is an option imagery, personification. Okay, uh, all the above, for example. So you have to select all the above because in some of the sentences there are two figures of speech overlapping, one overlapping with another. Like here, imagery you can also say personification. So sometimes some questions can be tricky like this. So you have to select both the options as your answer. Okay. So next, so in the first few lines we have seen the comparison. One is simile, another is metaphor, and the young tree sprinting is a combination of both imagery as well as personification. Okay. Now let's see. Now the situation is changing. Okay. Now she's describing in the form of point. Right. All this time she was on her way to the airport. Right. Now the scene has changed. Now they have reached airport. Inside the airport premises, now they are trying to, I mean, the description is happening now inside the premises of the airport now. Okay. But after the airport security check, see the situation, the scene has changed now. Now inside the airport, security check is also over now. So what happens after the security check in airport? What happens now?
Boarding.
Yes, boarding. But security check के बाद immediately boarding नहीं होता है. थोड़ा और मतलब it depends on like कभी कभार अगर your security check is done much ahead of departure. In that case, they will make you wait in the waiting lounge for some time. Okay, and then after half an hour, they will start the boarding process. So for boarding process, you have to be again in the queue, right? But what she's trying to say here, she's trying to say that after the security check, what happens? The passenger is separated from the person who has come to see of the passenger, right? So mom and daughter will be separated physically now. Okay, one will be here, another will be somewhere in the distance. Okay, because till security check they can be together. After security check, only the passengers are allowed inside. Okay, so that is what she's trying to say here. After the airport security check, standing a few years away because they are now separate. I looked again at her, one pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache. That is important. Again, there is a comparison. So, what is the comparison now? Now, again, the pale and one. One means something which is receding. Okay, they say you might have seen like full moon. So, from full moon gradually keeps waning, and then it becomes half moon, then complete dark. Okay, so she has compared her mom's pale, cheerless face with the waning and pale winter moon. Okay, like it appears to be very small in size, very pale in size, not as big and as bright as the full moon. Understood? So her mom's pale face here has been compared with the winter's structure of the winter moon. Okay, winter session moon. Okay, so why it is compared? Because she wanted to show that her mom appears to be absolutely sad. Okay, might be not as much sad as she appears to be. Like there are some people, if you look at them, they appear to be sad, but in reality they may not be sad at all. But their physical disposition, their structure, their anatomy, or somehow they appear to be like this. Okay, they are genetically designed to look like this. Okay, so you cannot help it, right? So her mom appeared to be very much sad, more sad than she actually felt sad. Okay, inside. So that made her compare that her with the late winter's mood. So it is yet again a figure of speech which is simile. Okay, why simile? Because as is mentioned here, as is given. See as. Okay, may say you are as good as your brother. Comparison, simile, as. Okay, it can be as good as, it can be simple as, or can be like, it can be so as also. Okay, like Nagpur is not so big as Chennai, for example. So, as these are called in grammar coordinates. Coordinates होते हैं. They the coordinate conjunctions they are said. They come in pairs like either or, neither nor. Okay, as much as, so much as, so as is. Neither. Sorry. Uh, Another one is there now. Like. There are many I forgot presently. So likewise, the conjunctions which are there in pairs, they are called coordinate conjunctions. Okay, like we are no sooner than. Okay, no sooner did the teacher enter the class than everybody stood up. Every student stood up. THN is not THEN. So when no sooner is up, then is attached. So these are pair conjunctions. They are called coordinators. This comes in comparative exams. Suppose you are writing comparative exams now. So in English section, these things come. So that is why you need to prepare. Not now, of course. It depends on your career options. हाँ, अगर आप एसएससी के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो बैंक के लिए तो आ सकता है इंग्लिश में. That you can study in 1 month. You can finish all this. It's not so difficult. Okay. So anyway, now the main concept is here. You see, heard that old familiar ache. So what does old familiar ache refer to? About old familiar ache. Normally ache means what? आप बताओ बेटे. प्रभाष. Okay. This is brain fog होते हैं. कभी कभी हो जाता है. New term दे दिया ना. जैसे smog होता है. Smog पता है कि चैनल में बड़ी smog. मतलब वायरलेस स्मॉग क्या होता है बताओ. जैसे आपके घर में बहुत सारा वाईफाई डिवाइस लगा हुआ है ना, तो उसकी वजह से वायरलेस स्मॉग क्रिएट हो सकती है. ओके, इट अफेक्ट्स योर हेल्थ. अंडरस्टूड. अगर ज्यादा वायरलेस सिग्नल से आपके आसपास में, ओके, ब्लूटूथ हो गया वायरलेस, okay, then NFC हो गया. So if you are flanked by all these wireless devices, wireless networks, then it affects your health. Okay, so we should not be. It is better like we become wired, we remain wired something like है ना. हम लोग earbuds लगा के गाना सुनते हैं ना, तो ये सब का क्या होगा ना, long term health effect है. Short term कुछ नहीं है, long term होता है. Okay, like wireless device use करना. Okay, wireless net use कर रहा हूँ हम लोग, whatever say wireless. So not immediate effect, and if you are using for a 1 or 2 hours is okay, it's not much of a problem. Okay, so Pravash, ache, what is the meaning of ache? A type of
pain.
yeah, it's pain only. Na? There's a headache, बोलते हैं ना हम लोग headache, pain. So here familiar ache का मतलब, how can a pain be familiar? The Pravash, can you give an example of how a pain can be familiar? How can a pain be familiar? Sorry. Yes, of course. This pain has been persisting for quite some time. Okay, suppose you have a particular pain which keeps recurring, keeps happening every few days. So that pain you are familiar with. So that is familiar pain, right? Yes, you are correct. So here, what kind of pain does Kamala does refer to? What kind of a pain does she refer to? Yes, her mom's like that. She will be away from her mom. Her mom will die one day. Okay, that is her childhood fear actually. Okay, when she was child also that she was so over possessive that she often used to feel like what if I am separated from my mom? What if my mom has gone away from me? So that fear has persisted since childhood till now. So since she has carried on her fear, okay, she has grown up with the fear. So that is not good. If we have, see, you'll find you have a lesson deep water. You have studied in deep water. So there also you have seen the writer wanted to get rid of that fear because that fear has become a psychological barrier for him to go to near any water body. Because if he went to any water body, that that psychological fear kept surfacing in his mind. Okay, so that is why he wanted to get rid of that fear as early as possible. That is why he engaged a swimmer and then he learned swimming, right? So likewise, if you have any kind of fear in your mind, in real life I'm asking, not related to this. Any fear you are having in your mind, try to get out of this fear. Because if you water this fear in your mind, like you water the plant, if you water the fear in your mind, then it will grow. Okay, don't let it have access to oxygen and water, then it will die. Okay, because if you allow it to grow, then it is bad for your future. Don't let any subdued fear settle in your mind. Okay, do something so that you come out of that fear. Understood? It can be academic fear also. Okay, so work hard so that that fear is gone. Okay, so the writer has, the poet has grown up with the fear. That is why it is troubling her very much. That is why if we have any fear related to whatever in our life, we should try our level best to get out of it, overcome this fear, get rid of it. Understood? So old familiar fear, childhood fear, and but somehow she managed to suppress it or subdue it with a with an artificial smile on her face, so that her mom doesn't feel bad. Understood? Because if she starts crying, then her mom will also feel bad. Na? She'll also feel so emotionally carried away. So that is why she just wore us an artificial smile and said goodbye to her mom, and that is how they became separated. Okay, I mean she came back home. So here a personal feeling. You might think it's a personal feeling. What this lesson has to do with us? He just got to do something with us. Like I told you, subdued fear. आपको carry forward नहीं करना है आपको. Okay? Then it is something which we have to learn from. This point might be a personal point, but it has reached the universal level because we can be possessive, but we should not be over possessive. We can be emotional, but we should not be obsessive. So this is also a take home from this point. And aging is a natural process. If we have to lose our parents or our near and dear one, we should be in a position so that we do not become emotionally imbalanced. Our passing away of our parents should not disturb our emotional or mental health. Understood? So these are some of the take homes from this point. Understood? So let's wind up here, and any kind of some multiple choice questions I will discuss in the next class. Okay, I will bring that question back with me. Okay, thank you so much.